Okay, so Rune Master is kind of crazy, but I think I found the craziest Rune Master build. This one uses mainly Hydrohedron to do most of the damage, and it's a bit crazy. Let me show you. As you can see, the corruption is almost 200 here. So yeah, that's the build. Let me show you how it works. This build is made by the BB625, and if we look down here at the items, you can see it requires very specific items: Julra's Star Dial and Box of Hydra and Emulators Oblation. Like, these items are not easy to get, and as you can see, they're all legendary items. If I go back to the game now, so if you see the items that I have here, I'm just using the unique versions because the legendary versions in the build are unnecessary. As you can see, I was playing almost 200 corruption with just the uniques. So yeah, if you can get the correct legendary with the correct affixes, it would boost the damage by a crazy amount. But it's not really necessary. As you can see, I just have the normal uniques. This is just extra. You really don't need it for like low level stuff. So as you can see, I'm mostly using Hydrohedron, which is this skill. Now there's a lot of Hydrohedron builds, but I think this one is probably the most fun to play. The way you play this build is you dash using Flame Dash, and that will give you some buffs. I'm gonna show you later. And you have a glyph that also gives you buffs, and Frost Wall, which also gives you buffs, which is what you're going to use to activate Hydrohedron. So yeah, that's how you basically play this build. You just go like this, and you just stay here and everything dies, and you're practically invincible. And I'm gonna show you why in a second. So we have Flame Rush as a movement ability, and we use it with Frost Wall to do an explosion. And as you can see here, I have an item called Julra's Star Dial. It's a unique ring that increases spell damage, and what is also useful with Flame Rush is that when you use a movement skill or a time travel skill, all stats on this item are tripled for 4 seconds. So what you can do is cast Frost Wall and Flame Rush, and now you have a crazy amount of increased spell damage that you can use to activate Hydrohedron if you can do it fast enough. What's also useful about Flame Rush is this node here. This is where you get the explosion and increased area effect of the explosion. And it's just a nice movement ability to have. The second ability is the Glyph of Dominion. So if I look at my character stats here, you can see I don't really have any defenses, like all my resistances are low. But what we can do is, since we have Glyph of Dominion, and I look at the stats, you can see it's all max, which is very nice. So when you cast this, you want to be on it as long as possible, and recast it whenever it resets, so you can get max resistances. And we get the resistances from this node here, Arcane Mirror. This is essential for the build. You don't have resistances without it. And we have Frost Wall, which is converted to fire, because we have this item here called Box of Hydra, which gives you a chance to invoke Hydrohedron on kill with fire skills. We have Frost Wall converted to fire to get a chance to invoke Hydrohedron, and also if we cross the wall, we get increased damage and reduced mana cost. And what you want to do with these three skills is put the Glyph down to get the resistances, put the Frost Wall on a tough enemy, and cross it with a dash to get the buff from Julra's Tardile, and cast the fourth skill, which is Rune Bolt. And in Rune Bolt we have cold removed, so we can just quickly cast Hydrohedron. So that's basically how you play this build. You have to do everything very quickly. Glyph, Frost Wall, dash in, Rune Bolt, activate Hydrohedron, and that's it. Everything dies, and you get an insane amount of wards too. And if you notice, like, I'm casting like multiple skills at the same time. Sometimes I get a random skill because Runic Invocation, I have a, down here, Spell Cascade. This will cast a random spell if you have 12 or more Runic Energy. So I have 27 now. If I cast Runic Spell, another spell will cast. So if I activate this, you can see the Glyph activates under me. So yeah, it's a very fun build. I highly recommend trying it. Even though the item requirement is a bit high. And you do need to time your skills correctly. And look at that. Yeah, it's a very fun build. It makes the game feel like it's too easy, to be honest. Which is what I like. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the link to the build in the description. I highly recommend it, especially if you do like high level corruption. This might be the build for you. Yeah, I just wanted to show off this build. If you like this video, please press like. And if you want to see more Last Epoch content, be sure to subscribe because I will be posting a lot more. And that's all. Take care.